His gaze slid across the faces of the staff, but it only found downcast eyes. A good sign. He was doing well. A guilty employee was a good employee. Who had said that? Carried away by his triumph over those crushed souls, he permitted himself some distraction and his thoughts crawled off in different directions. Dr. Pepperlin did not have a cure for that ailment. Maybe the only salvation would be to put down poison in all the nooks and crannies of his brain. But there was the risk that the leading thought might die. Which one was it? They were looking frighteningly similar. Which one to choose? After a while he said, "The windows are not clean." With a deep sigh, the faces of the diplomats showed some relief at the expense of those of the technical staff. Several long, sticky seconds passed. The accountant, Bianca Mashinska, struggled to come up with some sensible explanation but could not find anything. Tanya Vandova appeared and informed them that Kishev had not come to work at all. She had spoken with his wife. He had heart problems and had been taken into hospital for tests. Helpless fury overcame the new ambassador's heart. He blinked quickly several times and snapped, "You may go." During that day, many of the employees tried to contact him, but he resolutely refused to see anyone. He wanted to play with their nerves, to leave them with the impression that he knew everything about them and their doings, and that he had no intention of listening to their pitiful explanations. Let them tremble in expectation of his call. Varadin threw himself into the thorough exploration of the multitudinous drawers and cupboards in his office, the cashboard, the cash box, the wardrobe, and all the other little places where he supposed the spirit of his predecessor might be hiding. Not much was left. People in his profession were secretive and erased all traces behind them where possible. In the library, the Encyclopedia Britannica and the Who's Who of 1986 feigned an air of dusty importance. In the drawer of the desk lay 3 lonely paper clips and 1 used marker. In the safe, he found a half disintegrated washing up sponge. That looked to be everything. He examined the toilet, tested it, and sat behind the big boss's desk, twisted around his way and that in the armchair to get used to the feel of it. He was almost feeling at home when the red phone rang. He stared fearfully at it and picked up the receiver. "Hello," said a serene female voice. "Already in your workplace? Ah, bravo, well done." "Thank you." His ingratiating response conveyed little enthusiasm. He knew the voice well, and clearly he could not tell it to go to hell. "You haven't forgotten about me, have you?" He sensed an edge of suspicion. "How could I forget you?" His voice filled with sincere indignation. Easily, some people immediately forget everything as soon as they land themselves a little mandate. The subtle accusation rang from the receiver. "I am not one of them. You know me." "Well, I've been let down so many times," sighed the voice. "You think you know somebody, but when they go abroad, they prove to be a completely different person." You think you know somebody, but when they go abroad, they prove to be a completely different person. What a lovely quote. I mean, I don't know if this is true or not. I don't know if I disagree with it or not, and that's wonderful. Ungrateful people, they imagine they have become untouchable, but they are mistaken. And I think this is a big thing, and I think this is why I was forbidden from returning back to my American home and was actually arrested and deported when I did. Um, my point is that we all love trips abroad. We all love this liberty that it gives us. And in some ways, that is resented by all authoritarian regimes or people wanting to be all authoritarian regimes, right? They certainly are mistaken. You're not one of them, though, are you? The voice quavered. Hopefully, you know how the things are. Your experience, that's to say, you know how to prioritize. I've learned that well. I hope so. There was a pause before the decisive question, and how are things going? I don't know yet. People here don't look to be on the straight and narrow. I had no doubts about that. They're a bunch of crooks. You must report to me every week. Agreed, Varadin nodded. Do not worry. Don't be so relaxed. You don't know her yet. She's so solemn. Every time I pass through London, I invite her properly for lunch or breakfast. But she always plays dumb. She's busy. And how is she so busy, if you please? Counting her coins, I suppose, the humiliation I have to endure. We mustn't lose hope. The stakes are high. Yes, we have to draw her in somehow. Leave it to me, said Baradin authoritatively. If you betray me. Not a chance of that, of course not, he assured her. Oh well, in that case, goodbye. Goodbye. The first number that burst into his mind was 98. For some moments he stared blankly at the phone. Then quietly, but passionately, he pronounced 73. So this is a novel called Mission London about the new Bulgarian ambassador to London. How interesting. I would love to read this. And it seems that, it has been a bestseller and an awarded novel and whatnot. And it's just amazing what it says behind this as well. And of course, it is the winner of English Pen Award, this novel by Alek Popov. Thank you for listening.